Today's episode of Hoppy on Broadway is sponsored by Pike Brewing Company. Pike Brewing Company is Seattle's original urban brewery. Pike handcrafts beers of character with quality local ingredients. Check out new offerings from Pike, such as High Five and Space Needle Golden IPA, along with classics like Pike Kilt Lifter and Pike Place Ale. Visit Pike in the Market neighborhood for brewery tours, the Pike Pub, Tankard and Ton Restaurant, and the Microbrewery Museum. What's up, everyone? My name is K-Rad. I'm a rapper, producer, beer lover, and now I'm a podcaster. Podcasting about Northwest hip-hop and Northwest beer. Why? Well, I love them both, and frankly, you should too. So sit back and crack a cold one as a weekly guest and I talk about all things hip-hop and hops. This is Hoppy on Broadway. Happy Friday, everyone. K-Rad here to give you another exclusive interview with one of Seattle's finest. WebbWavvy is on the show today to talk about his writing style, his next 3 releases all dropping this year, and the importance of authenticity in writing rhymes. We'll be drinking Seattle's Pike Place Brewing today. Shout out to them if you're ever at the Pike Place Market and want a good beer or some good food. I would highly recommend their restaurant. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool atmosphere. You'll be hearing clips of WebbWavvy's tracks throughout the interview. A couple of them are unreleased too, so we're getting the exclusive access sneak peek to some of those bangers. But first, here's his track from his latest music video, 40 Waves. Man, I'm jugging the pack still. Your homies just act man. My homies, they pack still. What up? Cause I ain't tripping if I miss a couple 3 downs with me, man, that's what you call a triple-double. Rough, she rider, the snotty, not with the rough riders. Don't be riding like DMX, it be much higher, it be much fire. And now I'm fired up, I'm out of line, but I ain't out of line, so they line it up. Side of us, looking like it's 9 times 9 of us. 45, we're on high five, we reminding them. I ain't never normal, cause normally I be fucking on your bitch and get ghost, so apparently I be... Representing the hip-hop collective Fine Malt Lyrics, WebbWavvy is on the show today. He's been dubbed one of Seattle's hidden talents by the hip-hop blog Respect My Region after releasing his latest music video, 40 Waves. Webb is here to talk about his craft, his upcoming releases, and of course, some delicious beer.
Yeah, word, son.
Webb, do you go by Webb or do you go by Wavvy? Does it matter?
I mean, I go by Webb. Webster's my last name. You
Webster's
know what I'm saying?
your last name.
Webb, you know, so WebbWavvy, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how that came apart. You know.
Well, I'm going to call you Webb just because,
yeah, that's
just
good.
for short, if that's all right.
Yeah.
We're going to start it out. We're drinking Pike Place Brewing today. I just went downtown to pick these up. So shout out to them for providing us with some free beer today.
Some homegrown beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to start out with the High Five Hopped Honey Ale. It's a blonde, 5% ABV, 26 IBU. I'm going to pour you up. But in the meantime, tell me about your beer preference.
Man, I drink Corona most of the time, but you know it's FML, man. So anytime we can find a 40 ounce in a glass, we drink a 40 ounce in a glass. You know, a glass 40. You know, we don't pour it in a glass. You drink it out the glass bottle. But that new plastic bottle, shit, we don't mess with too often.
Honestly, no. I don't think I've drinking a 40 in a little while.
Man,
I don't know if this
I haven't
can compare.
either. I'm not being good for the brand. I haven't been lately either. I've been bougie drinking.
Yeah.
But,
well, I don't know if this will hold up to OE, but we're going to give it a shot. So
hey.
Cheers, my man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Real shit, OE has its times, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, man.
A woman is more like a beer. They smell good. They look good. You'd step over your own
taste the
mother
honey.
just to get
Oh,
one.
that's bomb.
You like that?
That's fire, yo. Hold
Yeah.
on. That's bomb.
Yeah?
Holy shit.
What are your thoughts on it other than bomb? Can you
Man,
describe it?
It's good. You can actually taste the honey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's also light. It's definitely a good summer beer.
It is. Damn, that's exactly.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Corona. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of a Corona.
A little bit. It's light. It's kind of like fluffy on the tongue.
Yeah. See?
That's good, man.
Man,
But
you're good at this. You're good at this.
I could be better, but like I said, it's not my first rodeo. So, but I want to talk about not just your beer preference, but also somewhere where I was drinking beer when I first saw you, which was at Death by Stereo 2.
Okay, word.
Which was a beat battle, but also you kind of opened as a rapper. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I'm a rapper first, okay? I just happen to make beats, and I've been thrown into the ringer with this beat battle stuff, man. Like, I produce some of my own stuff, you know what I'm saying? Everybody likes gang shit. I made that beat, you know what I'm saying? Day Ones, which is one of my bigger music videos, I produced that beat too, you know? But I don't, it's not my main focus. I've never, really just sat down and, did the Kanye West thing, like try to make beats every day, because like I pump out songs like faster than I pump out beats, you know what I'm saying? It takes like 15-20 minutes to like write a verse, if I even write, you know. But when it comes to like making a beat, that's like a 2-hour process.
It can take a long time.
Yeah, especially, you know, shout out my dude Astro, you know, FML Astro. He makes beats. He's like a producer, like a monster, you know. So he makes beats way faster. Like what it takes me 2 hours to do, he'll do in like 10 minutes. Like,
That's impressive.
it's very impressive.
I mean, I make my own beats too, but I'm so, when it comes to like comparing that to rapping, I'm so much more picky with the beats.
Yeah. See, like, you know, this is how I judge it. I couldn't make like a Young Thug type beat. I couldn't make a Jay-Z type beat. I only know how to make WebbWavvy type beats, because I make my beats for me to rap on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know. Like, people be like, man, are you trying to make? I can't make a beat for someone else. Like, I have to. And when I make beats for other people, they have to be in the same room, like telling me what they want. Because I'm like, bro, I'll run off with this idea, and only I'll be able to rap on it in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
What were you first? Were you first a rapper?
I was a rapper, and
first?
then I brought, you know, Astro. He showed me, you know, like mapped out, like, you know, like how to put the beat on point. You know what I'm saying? Like how to break it down. And then, you know, he pretty much told me, like, it's either something you got or you don't. And then I started making beats, and that was like after I was already rapping a lot. So, but I make beats, like, it's just something I know how to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a producer. Like, I wouldn't put on my bio rapper and producer. I just like, I'd put rapper who kind of produces, you know?
Yeah, it's just like a tool you know how to use. And I'm sure that helps when you are collaborating with a producer. You kind of talk them through it. And
Anytime I go to the studio, like, they know, like, you know, I'm like, I'm not sure what kind of beat I want, but play something and we'll run with it, you know?
Yeah. Do you usually have to hear the beat first to write to it? Are you sometimes just writing without a beat? Does it always vary? Or talk to me about your writing process.
I write like little snips of like verses sometimes, like when I think of a, you know, like a really dope bar or something like that, I'll write it down. But mainly I'll get on it. Sometimes I write songs. I write a lot of my shit to beats that I'm not even gonna get, like people that produce that I know won't even let me have, you know? But the beat is just fire, I'll write it to it, then I'll eventually find a beat that fits that verse, you know what I'm saying? Then that beat becomes that song, you know?
Yeah.
But then my writing process is normally, it's just, I prefer to use beats that, like, you know, that drop verse first. So like right after the intro of the beat, it's like, you know, break down for a verse, so that way I can, you know, spaz on the verse with, you know, the crazy wordplay and all that. Yeah. And then bring the hook in and try to do some catchy stuff.
Yeah. How much of your music are you doing with Fine Mall lyrics?
Man, you know, I hate to say it, I love my guys. We're a collective, you know. We're a collective. We just do music together, you know. Right now, everybody's been building their own projects and stuff, you know, and working on like stuff outside, you know. But lately, I haven't been doing much music. I've been doing this project with Fees the Germ. And then I have and then my dude Rocky Glover, shout out Rocky Glover, you know, he's producing a project for me, you know, and so those are two. And then plus I have already sitting on a project of throwaway songs that I just like, you know, I did on beats I didn't really like, beats that like songs to beats that like someone I didn't know personally like made, you know? Okay. Most of the beats I'm getting are from people I know. And when I like download a beat, you know, a free beat off something, then, you know, those are throwaways. I'm gonna drop that project. So I'm sitting on like 4 projects of work right now. Wow. Yeah, I intend on dropping like September, October, November, December. Yeah. Yeah.
And did you say, I'm sorry, you some of these projects you're just working on like off of free beats you found on the internet or something?
Yeah, well, there's like I have like a little 5-song project, you know what I'm saying? And it's just off of beats. Like, well, some are like beats that like me and Astro had there from like years ago, and then like 2 were produced by this dude Thovo, you know? Yeah. And he produced my last song Search, and I just dropped, and he's from like the Netherlands or something.
Yeah.
But
and when you say produce, you mean made the beat?
He made the beat, yeah. Okay. And you know, but yeah, I mean, then everything else are from producers like me and Fees the Germs projects is fully produced by Creeps, J Battle.
He was on the show. Yeah. Just like last week.
Yeah. And what do you call it? Then my project, my album that I'm dropping in November is produced by Grimeshine, you know, shout out my dude Grimeshine. And then my project with Rocky Glover. Yeah.
So I'm curious. It sounds like you work with a lot of different producers, but you've had a popularity in Seattle for some time now. Are these producers just working with you for free, or do you have to buy the beats from them?
I mean, they've just been working out. They've been reaching out to me, and like, you know, I'm assuming it's because, you know, not because like, you know, we're trying to like bank off of one another, but they like respect my musicianship when it comes to music. They know that I'm not gonna come out here and do like everyone else and do this this the same wave of music. You know, like I pride myself on actually still rapping. Like I rap. There's wordplay. There's bars. There's different flows in the song. It's not just one melodic, auto-tuned out like whole song, like 4-minute song of someone rapping in the same cadence with auto-tune. You know, and then having some hook that doesn't even relate to the song. You know, it's like this is real old school hip hop. You know, but I also do those bangers. You know, just especially for my shows. But
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk about your latest release, or I guess your latest full project was Blame Webb, correct? Word. And I noticed on that you kind of moved away from your trap sound you were experimenting with before that, and you came back to like the roots of hip hop kind of sound, right?
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
See, because last summer, around September, I dropped Not Your Man with Rebel, which me and him spazzed out on just like a bunch of bangers and up tempo, high velocity songs. So, but that's not really me, Like, I mean, I do that. I pride myself on being, versatile, but also I knew that I would have everyone's attention at that time because they would be ready for another banger. Right. So then I gave them that project with Malcolm with bangers, and then when I dropped Blame Webb, I had their attention, and then I gave them all hip hop, So I just keep them guessing.
Yeah.
That's I've just been keeping people on their toes.
Is that like kind of a manufactured kind of marketing way that you took it, as in you release these two separate projects to get the hook, drag them in?
Exactly.
But you didn't do that really organically then?
No, not organically, but I knew after I had my project most of the way done, I knew that's why I had everyone's attention, was because I had, I did all these bangers and I'm doing all these shows, and the shows are crazy. Me and Malcolm are on Spokane going crazy. Shout out my dude All Day Trey out there.
Oh, I met him once at a party that I performed at out there.
That's my guy. That's my dude, man. Shout out my dude All Day Trey. He brought us out there. We performed. It was crazy out there too. So. Then I just knew, I guess it kind of was the marketing. I knew I had their attention, and I wanted them to hear me rap and not hear me do these bangers where I can really, I freestyle those verses, write those verses in 5 minutes. It's just almost too easy, Yeah. It's almost too easy. It's not even fun.
These are on the bangers you're talking about?
On those trappy joints and stuff, I love them. I love listening to them, but it's not really my cup of tea. But I also know that your fans don't want to come to your shows and just hear your life raps. They want to have fun.
That's smart.
And so that's why. So I bring the fun. That's why. Respect my regions. WebbWavvy leaves alone the turn up. And sometimes you got to put it down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but you do have a preference, and that would be latest on you can drink your beer. Don't let me stop you. but your hip hop, it has in the roots. What did you grow up listening to?
Man, my mom's old school OG. So everything old school, man. Luther Vandross, James Brown, everything. Jodeci, man. LL Cool J is my mom's favorite, So I was all that. My first tape I bought was Eminem. That was the first on cassette. I bought his first project.
You made the Slim Shady LP or before that? LP. Okay, nice.
I bought the Slim Shady LP. Music is just in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, and the old school vibe. I like to be able. I don't want to just You don't want to just hear my music when you just wake up. When you're trying to turn up. You want to hear this when you're having a bad day, or you know what I'm saying. You need some inspiration from someone else, type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's mood music. That's how I describe it. It's mood music. Whatever I'm feeling, you can tell what I've been going through listening to my music. You know? Right now I've been on I haven't even been doing full songs. I've been just going to producer spots and just lacing down one long ass verse. And then being bow, are you gonna put a hook? I bullshit a hook, not even really, I'm just I've just been in attack mode for all of 2017.
Yeah. Well, but tell me about when you get on stage. I mean, you got shows coming up in September, and are you practicing pretty relentlessly before them? Do you let it flow, or are you just having fun? Do you think about it?
Hey, this is a great question because a lot of people ask this all the time. I don't rehearse at all.
Bar none.
I don't rehearse for my shows. I don't rehearse. I don't. I think it should be organic. I walk on stage. I'm not afraid of being in front of large groups of people.
Okay.
I walk on stage. You know what I'm saying? Rap is what I do. I'm not afraid to do what I do. So I don't rehearse. I just walk on stage, and then let the music play, and I just go. I just lose myself for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I've done the hour set.
And it just goes like that.
The hour set, I was tripping that the set was over. I was it's been an hour. He's yeah. I was man, the adrenaline's going. I was I don't rehearse. I just go out there and do it. I just make sure I deliver every time.
So you don't even worry about forgetting your lyrics or
No, I definitely do that. I might listen. I definitely do that from time to time. I listen to like the songs. It's like sometimes like one of my friends is like, you know, he's performing somewhere else, you know, and he's like, yo, you know, pull up, perform a song or two with me. I'm like, yeah, you know. And most of the time, it's like a song I haven't listened to or rapped in a minute. So I'm like, yo, B. I'll be like outside the venue, like bumping the song in my phone, like holding the phone in my ear. They trying to remember the verse, and I'm like, all right, I got this.
Right, hey, I keep it wavy, y'all washed up. Little niggas need to watch out. Been new, it's my top, nigga. That's before I put my watch out. FML, we gon' pop shit. That's just work to my nigga fiends. Getting tired, she topless. Text a man like, nigga, please. I'm great like Khalid. I die great like Ali. I bust a rhyme like flip mode. Welcome little niggas to the big show. Nigga, I cannot allow it. You rapping but never been bout it. Say you moving bricks, you never seen a brick. I know all you get is your allowance. Bitch, count it. Count it up. Been bout it. I'm still with my motor and I founded them. I touched 10 toes down. In the end zone, wow. Hey. Young niggas popping benzos. My friends rollin' in a bench though. Your bitch write me like she on the web. Even offline, she be offline. FML never offside.
Our next beer here is the Space Needle Golden IPA. An IPA with 6.5% ABV, 58 IBU, so it's a little bitter, but shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna pour up a little bit right here. Do you drink IPAs ever?
I drink beer.
You drink beer.
I drink beer, son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good, but hopefully you like this too. All right. Cheers, man.
Homie, no function beer well without.
Wow. That's actually really good too. You have a great selection of beer.
Well, don't thank me. I didn't even choose these out. This was the marketing guy over at Pike Brewing. But yeah, it is good.
Yeah, that's a great beer.
It's kind of heavy on the tongue. It's got a little bit of a malty flavor to it. Definitely got the hops though. Probably not my favorite IPA just because it's so light, but also it's kind of citrusy. And
Yeah, I can definitely taste the citrus.
yeah. We're gonna jump in to a game right now. Okay.
All right.
And you fancy yourself as a weed smoker, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, this is the second time we played this game on the show. The last time I played it was Zach Levine. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that's my guy too.
Yeah. It's called Whack or Fact. So I went around the town to a few different dispensaries and made a list of the weirdest names for strains for sale here in Seattle. But I've also included a handful of fake weed strains on this list. I'm gonna read you each strain name one at a time, and you have to tell me if it's whack, as in it's not real, or it's fact.
All right, word.
Simple enough?
Word.
All right, here we go. Bubba's Girl.
Whack.
That's fact.
Really?
Yep. Off to a good start.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right, Wonder Woman.
Fact.
That's fact. Axl Rose.
Whack.
Yep. Snapback.
Whack.
Yep, you're right again. The Sauce.
Whack.
That's fact.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? For that one, I said whack because I didn't want that to be true. I didn't want that one to be true.
There's some
but
weird
damn.
ones, man. I'm telling you. I'm looking through these. I'm like, why would anyone call them these names?
I feel like it's similar like today's rap names. You know what I'm saying? People are running out.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna come out and be little toilet paper soon. Yeah.
I'm sure there is actually on SoundCloud
I guarantee
somewhere.
right now, SoundCloud,
Yeah.
dude, right now, little toilet paper. He gets all the booty.
Oh.
That's his slogan.
Hey.
I just plugged somebody, low
There
key,
you
right
go.
there.
There you go. Google him. All right, next one. Cheese.
That's fact.
That's fact. I think that's the weirdest name.
I've smoked cheese.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty fire.
Okay.
Won't
I
front.
hope it doesn't taste like cheese.
No, because I'm lactose intolerant, and that would be all bad for the kid.
All right, how about Colossal Coconut OG?
No, that's whack.
That's whack. That's correct.
The OG at the end made that kind of believable, though. You were smart for that.
Yep. I know my strain names.
Yeah.
Medusa.
Fact.
Yep. Oregonian Thunder.
Whack.
All right, again. Alt F4.
I'm saying whack, but if
Yep.
that's a weed, I was like, that's a great name for. That's a great name for weed, though. I vouch for that one.
All right.
Alt for it. Have
It's
you
all
smoked
yours
that?
if you start growing it,
For
man.
real. I
Yeah.
might have to get on that.
And Face Melt.
Fact.
Yep. Congrats, man. You only got 2 wrong. You beat Zach.
Hey.
You got 3 wrong.
Hey.
Granted,
champ.
there were all the different answers there, but congratulations. That means you get to continue drinking beer. I mean, I wouldn't have taken it away from you, but
I like beer.
Yeah.
It's a fair trade.
there you go.
I'm a winner. Number 1 right now. Until next week.
So in the last section, we kind of talked about your upcoming projects, and you got a bunch on the table.
Oh yeah.
And I was surprised and impressed that you have 3 titles dropping in the next 3 months. You have that project with Feasible the Germ, a solo EP, and a full-length album. And that's a hell of a grind, man. Can you tell me more about these projects you're putting out?
Yeah. So, me and Fee's project is going to be called Renegade Fabric. He named that. That's fire. That's a fire name. I was like, wow, you know, we're renegades. We go against the cloth, but we cut from a different cloth. You know, Renegade Fabric. I was like, wow, you know, that blew my mind. I was like, man, you thinking now, you know? That's for my guy, though. Shout out Fees, man. He's the one who puts on the Death by Stereo, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. That's like maybe the 3rd time he's been mentioned in this podcast.
I know.
He's got his hands on a lot of things, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, man. We've been staying on our toes, you know. And, man, we met probably like around a year ago. And, man, that's been my dude ever since. Then after that, I'm probably gonna call my little throwaway project. It's gonna be called Hypocrisy.
And this is the one with the free beats.
It's with like the throwaway tracks. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be called Hypocrisy, or you know, the death of SoundCloud rap.
Okay.
That's what I'm also thinking about. But that depends on what mood I'm in and how you know angry
and how it
I am
turns
at
out.
the rap game. No, man. The throwaway project is gonna be like all hip hop joints. It's not gonna be any. Me and Fees' project is a blend of like a whole bunch of shit. You know, me and him didn't limit each other. I mean, I like Fees because like he looks at the game in the same way I do. You know, when 2 artists go into the studio, it's like which one of you guys is gonna come out alive? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's some like barbaric stuff. We go in there, it's like who's got the hottest verse? You know what I'm saying? Whose mind is clicking on that day? You know?
Yeah.
And that's why I like it because it's like, you know, friendly competition. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm reminded of you have a Wu-Tang shirt on.
Oh, yeah,
and that's
come
how
on.
they did their first album, 36 Chambers. Yeah, you got the tattoo as well.
And the Killer Bee back.
Nice.
Well,
Their 36 Chambers album, I know that they would have to compete to get on the track, right?
Whoever had the hottest verse gets on.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Rap is the same as basketball, same as football, same as all that. You should want to be the best. You know what I'm saying? You think Jay-Z do you think Jay-Z prides himself on being like the greatest rapper of all time? Yeah. Hell yeah, he does. Yeah. Anyone would. I would. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people don't like just it's sometimes it's a little too friendly here. You know, I don't come to the studio. You know, I've done music with people, giving them verses that I know those songs aren't gonna drop because the verse was too hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it's a love-hate relationship. But with Fees, man, it's like, man, we're both in there, we're both on go time, you know, and like that's why I like that, you know, because I'm like, man, I gotta be on my toes with him, you know.
Yeah.
And then let's see, the throwaway project's gonna be called I said that Hypocrisy,
Right.
like democracy but hip hop, you know.
Sure.
And then my project, my album that's gonna drop in November, that's produced by Grimeshine. I'm thinking it should kind of pertain to Blame Webb, you know. So I might call it "It's All My Fault," but I also might call it a sure thing, you know. So
What inspired you to create that album named Blame Webb?
oh, it's an inside joke.
So all your fans will get it.
It's an inside joke that all my friends know, because like whenever something bad would happen, they would just blame me for it, and like
really?
I'd be standing there with my hands up, like, what the fuck did I do? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, stop blaming me for everything. So then Blame Webb is because like that was my first album. It was on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever you want to call it. It's on all that. So you know, I called it Blame Webb, self-titled, really.
And what's going to be, back to like all your next 3 projects, what are they all going to sound like and how are they going to sound different from each other?
Me and Fees' project is gonna sound like a blend of like here, now, then, and future. You know, my project, throwaway project, will sound like, you know, it's just pretty much me just on some boom bap beats, just doing my thing. And my project, my album, is gonna be like, you know, a touch. You know, I have a song. I'll give you a song after here that's gonna be a first time preview. You know what I'm saying?
Would love that. Yes.
It's called "Let Me Ask Him," produced by Grimeshine. You know, and that song talks about like how everyone sounds the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, does anybody? I took that Kanye West thing. Does anybody make real shit anymore? You know what I'm saying? Then the bridge on the song is like, you sound like him, he sounds like you, y'all sound like them, they sound like you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, my project is more, it's always heavy with the bars, heavy with the wordplay, but it's like, you know, in tune with the songs. You know, it's like hearing a J. Cole mixtape and then hearing his album. How like his mixtape was, you know, like Hypocrisy would be all over the place with just like random songs I threw together.
Yeah.
And then my album will be like a work of art. You know, it's gonna be, you know, put together,
Right.
well thought out. You know.
But Hypocrisy, or if you're going to call it Death of SoundCloud Rap,
Yeah.
it's going to be like a little appetizer.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a little warm up, you know, a little shoot around, a little pregame.
So I'm excited for your full album. It's dropping in November, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a sneak peek that
Okay.
only a few people have. I'll give you some songs, to mix in. I'll give you some stuff, man, because I'm eager to show it. I've like previewed them on like my Instagram stories,
Word.
Snapchat stories, but and I've gotten really good feedback from it,
Yeah.
And even some of these songs I've made months ago. Okay, the song I dropped recently, Searching, you know what I'm saying? I Respect My Region did the write up for me. Shout out my dude Mitch, shout out Joey, shout out the whole team, Jared and them, and when I did that song, had to be way earlier this year, like between January and March, okay? And we're in August now. So I've been sitting on that song for a long time, a long time. And I have in that one session, I made like 5 or 6 other songs, So I'm sitting on a lot of music right now, a lot. And I'm making more. Like every week I've been making like 2 songs, if not more, So my repertoire is building up crazy right now, So I feel like it's smart because I have so much music and so much space in between them, I dropped the 40 Waves video. Look at me. You see my hair in the video and my hair now? You know what I'm saying? Like my hair's gotten longer, Everyone's just like, man, your hair. I'm like, bro, that video was shot at like the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, like it was cold because I had a coat on in that video,
Shout out to everyone who's listening to go check out 40 Waves. You can find it at Respect My Region or just search 40 Waves. It's WAVVES. You can find it on YouTube. It's a cool video, man.
Thanks.
Who are you working with to create music videos?
My guy Eden, Eden shot that. Eden Visuals. He's my video guy right now. I met him through another friend, and he shot 40 Waves for me, just for free because he just wants to get into it,
Yeah.
And he actually just shot the day I dropped 40 Waves. I shot another video to that song Detonate I was talking about earlier. So that video is like in the works right now. So I'm really smart. I'm 26 years old now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not old, but as far as the rap game goes, I'm not young. You know? So I'm very smart with this. I'm very like methodic with the way I go about my shit.
Yeah.
Very smart, very secluded. I stay to myself. You just see me pop out. Like that's the reason, probably why I'm like I became popular is because I'm here. Because I'm like performing all the time, but I'm not out. I'm not out a lot. I'm not really in Seattle like going hard on Capitol Hill all the time. Like I'm a secluded ass person. I like just being in my own shit.
Did you used to be that way?
I mean, nah. Me and my homies would come out and go hard, but it's always when we have shows. If not, we go back to our area, go to one of our houses and get smashed.
Okay, that's ironic. Still trying to be iconic. Life on it. Till 3 to my eyes on it. Album coming. Don't want none of you guys on it. Cause you just try to put that bullshit and lies on it. I be like the music, but without the music, no. FML forever, that's just something you should know. Girl, don't blow me kisses, got this dick for you to blow. And I'm on some other shit, so tell my other bitch to go. Right up, and realize that everybody shook up. And FML where everybody look up. And members only all the spaces took up. I got the hook up.
All right. The last beer we're trying today is the Pike Brewing Kilt Lifter, which is a Scotch ale. I know what you were saying before about how the IPA is what's something you turn up to, but I'm pretty sure this is a bit heavier as far as alcohol goes. But I've had this one before. It's pretty good. Do you want to finish off that little bit so we don't start mixing beers? That's never good practice.
Word.
Yeah. And again, once you finish this taste, feel free to have any of the 3 beers. They're totally on the table for a reason. And you can have whatever you'd like, man.
Word up, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me again, though.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy you made it all the way here. I know it's not an easy trek always, and hopefully you won't hit too much traffic on the way back home.
Yeah. Yeah, that part right there. Yeah.
Well,
it should be all right.
You'll get a little buzz on for it at least.
Word up. Beer.
Whoa, yeah.
Wow.
That's definitely a ruby ale.
Yeah, it is.
Ruby Scotch ale. It's kind of got a little mapley taste to it.
It's good, though.
You like it?
Yeah.
Do you have a preference out of all the 3 that we tasted?
I like the high five one was the first one, right?
Yeah.
I like that one, but the second one, and it's got to be a tie between this one and the second one.
Of the Scotch ale and the Golden IPA.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. My favorite also was the Pike High Five. This is a really good honey ale.
It's the best tasting one.
Yeah. That was really tasty. I definitely gonna get this next time I go to a store or something like that. But this Scotch ale is good too. It's definitely got a darker kind of flavoring to it. But all in all pretty good beers. During the last section of this podcast, I like to kind of direct the attention to talking about Seattle and Seattle's hip hop scene, the Northwest hip hop scene, and then also the greater national and worldwide state of hip hop. last section, you were talking about how everyone can tend to be really friendly when it should be an aggressive and competitive sport. How do you see that is reflected in Seattle's culture?
Man, Seattle's culture, man, it's like, you know, what I want to say on it is like, in today's world, it's really friendly. Seattle's music scene is surprisingly like being in a Shark Tank, you know? It's like it was like, but with a bunch of different sharks. Like neither of you are on the food chain, but we're gonna all eat each other eventually, you know? It's hard to put your finger on it because it's so divided. It's so divided, but it's so much unity at the same time, you know? It's like a pissing contest, really, you know? It's like sometimes someone has it, sometimes someone doesn't, you know? I've been doing a lot of shows, you know, a lot. I've done a lot of shows this year alone. Last year and this year, I've done a shit ton of shows, you know? And in and out of state. So it's like, it's just hard to put your finger on it because it's like so divided. Everyone wants to have their own wave and, you know, their own group and own clique. And instead of blending things to like reach a greater purpose, everyone would rather stay divided, you know, which is like the difficulty of it, you know. That's what makes it just mad difficult.
So as an artist yourself, you recognize there's a lack of collaboration and community in the hip hop world, even though you have your own collective, the Fine Malt Lyrics collective. But what else are you doing to fix that solution? You're an active member. You must be doing something to bridge that gap.
I work with, you know, my dude Foon Gizzle. He's from the north side, you know. I mess with Fees the Germ, you know. I've done projects with Malcolm Rebel, you know. I've done projects with I've done songs with Kung Fu Grip, Bryce Bowden, you know. My team, Fine Malt Lyrics, Trey Ross, Ziggy Zay, you know. Shout out my dude King Elgin, he just shot his latest video. Shout out my dude Sip, you know. I just do music with people who think likewise, you know. Like, let's make some music, you know. Let's just sit down and make some damn music, you know, together. You know, I met, you know, Il Chris and Mike Phenom, those are my dudes too. So I'm cool with a lot of people. So the only way that I know how to bridge gaps is to, you know, work with people. You know?
Invite people, you text them, you hit them up.
I mean, sometimes I'm not exactly the biggest. I'm not exactly the biggest on reaching out to people, you know, which is, you know, kind of a bad thing. But at the same time, you know, it's the same. It's, you know, it's a phone works two ways, you know. So it's like, hey, if sometimes I'm going to the studio and I'm like, I'll call some people up, like, yo, I'm about to go to the studio. I don't know what I'm about to make. I don't know what I'm about to do. But if you're more than welcome to come, you know, they either come or they don't. Like, that doesn't hurt my feelings, you know. I'll have no problem killing a whole song myself, you know. Yeah. But it's fun to do music with other people, you know. It's fun to bounce ideas off other people.
It can give a track a lot of color. As when I say that, I mean different kinds of voices,
exactly,
different styles.
Exactly. Sometimes when you hear music, you should see colors.
Yeah,
and that's a real thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I was reading an interview that Kendrick Lamar said when he's making tracks, he'll see colors actually during the beat.
Yeah.
And I can understand where that's kind of coming from.
It pertains to your mood, you know? Like what mood, like your mood, like the way you're feeling. Sometimes I hear a beat that's just like it's just so touching that you're just like, wow, like it just takes your mind and runs with it, you know? It's just the beauty of it, bouncing ideas off of, you know, people, you and some other person, you know, especially when it's like me and Fees' project is me and Fees and then Crete's producing it, you know? That's three different minds working all at the same time.
Absolutely. And who would you say that you work with a lot of people and you've done a lot of shows, a lot of people, but who's on your radar as in like someone that if someone's come up to you and said, you know, who are the three artists other than yourself that I should listen to from Seattle who are active right now?
Astro Boy, Fine Malt Astro, Trey Ross, Ziggy Zay.
Fine Malt Lyrics.
They make Fine Malt Lyrics, and together we make a Megazord.
Okay.
So go listen to my man's Trey Ross dropped this video, 24K, shot by Young Tada. That's also my dude, man. That song's fire. Yeah. Ziggy Zay drops nothing but straight flames, and Astro might be one of the most slept on dudes I know, because that dude is an amazing artist, you know, an amazing artist. And on top of that, he doesn't write music. He doesn't write. He freestyles everything.
Damn.
Everything.
That's impressive. It's
very impressive. That's and imagine witnessing that. Like I've got a verse written while he's just mashing out the freestyle. Yeah. The whole time. So
yeah. On a greater scale outside of Seattle, who are you fucking with nowadays?
Man, I listen to. You know what's funny about that? Astro asked me, how did you stay so lyrical in a time like this with music? You know, it's so easy to just jump on like to do the you know the auto tune rap where it just
Mumble
like
rap or
yeah or
something
that
doesn't really-
it's like where it's just a melody. They just like find a melody and they just rap the whole song through it, and it just all sounds the same, you know. But I don't listen to that, you know. I listen to J. Cole, I listen to Kendrick Lamar, I listen to Absol. Isaiah Rashad is my favorite new dude right now, you know. And he's not new, but he's like, you know, I listen to all TDE straight up. Everyone in TDE gets played on my phone, you know. I've been listening to this dude Blue, BLU, you know.
Okay.
I listen to I said J. Cole.
I love J. Cole.
Man, Anderson Paak,
Oh,
however
he's
you
so
say
good.
it.
Yeah, it's
That
Paak.
dude, Paak, Anderson Paak. That
No, it
dude,
is Pack. Shit, I
Paak.
fucked that up. You got it right the first
It
time.
happens, bro. I've never found out how to pronounce it either, so
Yeah.
I feel you. But straight up, that dude is an amazing artist. Okay,
His next album, I'm predicting he's gonna be in cover Rolling Stone.
dude.
I'm gonna predict it right now.
That dude is an amazing artist. Like to go from rapping, singing, and then sit down on the drum set and
drums,
tear that
right?
shit up. Dude, that dude's a monster, bro. And I fuck with that dude heavy.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just like, whatever Interscope's got going on, I'm with Interscope, okay?
Yeah.
You know, but I also like, I've been listening to Kirk Knight and Nick Caution, Nick at Night, you know, Pro Era.
Yeah.
Joey Badass is your guys, you know?
Yeah.
Those guys, that project is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
I listen to Joey Badass heavy, you know?
I love it.
All I listen to, you see the trend here is like, all
Yeah.
I listen to is people with lyrics, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
People whose minds
They're
like I'll
songwriters.
I'll turn the music off in the car full of my homies right now. Turn the music off. Like, bro, did you guys understand what this man just said? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll like elaborate. You know, I'm like, man,
Yeah.
like how, like you know. But I get that a lot too. So like I understand it. But I'm big on bars. I'm big on like you know wordplay.
Real like meaning and songwriting.
I think that's rap to me. Okay,
Yeah.
having bars and being a lyrical artist. I'm not hating on anyone doing their thing. Like I'm not a fan of Lil Uzi Vert. I don't listen to Lil Uzi Vert. I know that song that everyone listens to because I've heard it so many times, but I don't know any more of his catalog other than that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't listen to that stuff. You know, because it's to me that's not. I mean, that's a different form of music to me. It's not really. And like dudes like Famous Dex and shit like that, like I can't promote that, you know. And even if people are listening, if you're listening to this and you're getting mad at me because I'm telling you that I don't like these artists, I don't care, for the record. So don't hit me up and tell me that.
Yeah.
Anyone listening to this, I like what I like. I like lyrics. I like bars. I like songs with meaning. I like to be able to listen to shit when I'm like, you know, in a bad mood or like I'm upset and mad at the world or something, you know? I can't do that with like trap music or whatever you want to call that wave, you know? I can't do that. It's either like, you know, it all sounds the same. It's all the same, all the same lines, you know? You know it's bad when you can predict someone's lines. Like you've never met this dude or heard him, but you can predict the next line he's gonna say. He's halfway through the bar and you know what the ending word is.
Sure.
Why do you couldn't do that with Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm
true.
saying? You can't predict what he's gonna say. But with like some of these other dudes, you like know where his bar is going. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna end up with like suck my dick or I fucked your bitch or something, you know? I'm like, come on.
Boring.
I say it too, but like not to a sense to where like that's what that's what you expect from me. No one expects the shit that comes out of my mouth. You know, I'm big on intriguing people. You know?
Yeah. And I've noticed that in your music as well. I mean, you take it not just as some type of hashtag rapper, but you do your thing, and it works. Yeah, have you never heard that?
I haven't heard that yet,
Yeah.
bro. Today's the first time, and that's hilarious.
Yeah. I just want to take a step back and say that I think that, and can we talk about how awesome Joey Badass's new album was?
Man,
that's my favorite album of the year.
I'm all for the way he did that. He went about that. He talked about like, you know, the whole, you know, blacks in politics, the blacks and cops.
At
you
such
know?
a relevant time.
And he made that, and he did that album like at a perfect timing. Like it couldn't have been a better time.
Yeah, and damn, the production, it's so
Yeah.
funky and groovy.
Yes.
The hooks are fire,
Yes,
man.
yes.
And I'm hoping to hear a lot more of that kind of stuff in the future from him. But
Yeah, that Rockabye Baby joint with Schoolboy
Oh,
Q is
yeah.
crazy.
That one's
Schoolboy
good.
Q is one of my favorite rappers. And you know
DE
what?
again.
And Schoolboy Q, it's like all these dudes who are like on some like thug shit, you know? But Schoolboy Q is the same way. Mm-hmm. But his shit is way more lyrical. Why can't more people be like that?
Yeah.
Why can't the thug dudes, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, have lived that lifestyle, do that, you know? Why does everybody have to get us some simple ass beat and just rap some simple ass way through it, you know? It should be more. You should care more. You know, I wouldn't go to the studio with a song that I feel I half-assed and go do and like just take that and like show people. I'm not showing anyone, and I show people my rough edits that they think are like the you know mastered version of the song. You know, and I'm like, look, man, but I know because I know my musicianship stands behind that song. You know?
Absolutely.
So it's like I'm just really confused. You know, in a world where it's like no offense, you know, you're white. I see like white dudes who fucking do everything that, you know, everyone else is doing, you know? It's not hard to do what everyone's doing right now in music. And I'm not hating on any race by any means. I don't see race, I don't see color. Everyone is human here to me, okay? You know, but there are, you know, points to address, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's not fair for black people here, but we're not gonna get into that. But really, to see how easy it is for people to just start rapping. Like someone's like, you know, like this dude sends me in one of my like DMs like, yo man, this is my new song, I just dropped it on my SoundCloud, could you retweet it, like say something about it? I listened to the song, it was trash. And he sounded trash, it was embarrassing. And I was like, yo bro, I was like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you. You should do something about this, bro. Yeah. I'm like, who told you this was okay?
So I'm sorry, how does that have to do? Was this guy white? Is that why you bring that up?
No, he wasn't white. Okay. He was a black dude, and he was just trash.
Okay, but how does that relate back to being Caucasian and rapping?
Oh no, what I was saying is, I've seen white dudes who come out, you know what I'm saying? These guys don't look like, I mean, like you're rapping about being in the trap and you don't look like you've trapped a day in your life.
Oh, so they're,
you know what I'm saying?
They're
like,
just straight up making shit up.
Yeah, you're just straight up like buffooning your way through the music. You know what I'm saying?
And that's bullshit.
And that's straight bullshit. Yeah. Like you probably, only thing you probably sold was like a few of your Adderall that you got out of your prescription. Like, come on, like, let's be serious. Okay? And that, I'm not saying anything against anybody. Mac Miller's a great rapper. Eminem is one. I think Eminem is still like, you know, he's number 2 on my list, you know. But
after Hov,
the great Hova, you know. But so I'm not tripping off a race. I'm just saying like the wave that the music is on has shown people that if you get on that and talk about this stuff, you know what I'm saying, and do it in this way, that you can be a rapper, you know what I'm saying. And that shit is not okay.
Yeah,
you know, that shit's not okay. So what's gonna happen when you like go on tour and a bunch of real thug dudes press your shit, you know what I'm saying, and you're like, yo, you know, and then you guys are terrified, like, oh, I had no idea this was gonna happen. Yeah, like that's what you expect. That's what happens when you talk about having guns and trapping and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna come after you for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you know, I don't think there's anything too crazy about what you're saying. I think it's important to, as any kind of songwriter, even outside of hip hop and rap, is to be true to what you are, because it's gonna be inauthentic. And people are gonna know it.
Man, I know dudes who are great rappers, man. I know some kids who are just like some Richie preppy kids, dude, you know what I'm saying? Not white or black. I know some white kids and some black kids who are just preppy as fuck. They just love rap, you know? That's what they love to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not stunting on them for that. I'm like, yeah, man, rap, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do it. But they're like humble to themselves and they talk about having, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they've never really had it that hard, you know? But like, I get it. And I'm like, dude, just be true to yourself, bro. Like, you know, talk about shit that's really happening in your life, you know? You're not running with guns. You don't have any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, come on. I'm like, who are you kidding, bro? Like, who are you kidding at the end of the day? Yourself.
Wow, man. Well, I appreciate you just honestly being 100% honest. Usually this podcast is super laid back, and it has been, but I just want to say that I appreciate you saying all this, because that's real shit right there.
Yeah, someone's gotta say it.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say you're the first one to say it, but it's good to hear that you're saying it.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. And well, that about wraps up the time we have. But before we go, I want to let everyone know that you can check out WebbWavvy. Again, that's WebbWavvy on Spotify and SoundCloud. There will be links in the description below. And be sure to watch his new video for 40 Waves on YouTube. Most of all, come out to his show to see him perform at Nectar Lounge on September 19th.
Word.
WebbWavvy, anything else before we go?
Yeah, you know, find my lyrics over everything. It's not anything, it's everything. Shout out my guy. Thank you for having me, man. This was cool.
Yeah.
You know, K-Rag. You know, K-Rag got me over here. I'm buzzing. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. It's been good, man. You good conversation.
Hey, man.
So, man.
You are too. I'm glad I have you here.
Word, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'll have to get my gang in here next. Shout out FML. Go follow us on Instagram at Fine Malt Life on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Check up on my homies. Check out how we doing. Make sure you up to date because we drop clothes randomly. Shout out Fees, you know what I'm saying? Shout out all my guys that I mess with, you know. But, man, yeah, thanks for having me. And that's it. Wavy out.
All right, man. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Until next week. Peace.
Blame Webb, nigga. Hey, lights, cameras, action. This right here a boom, bap, backflip. Get it poppin' like back tits are proactive. Packing versus that leaving with closed casket. Bad bitch, let me leave my kids on the lashes. I'm old-fashioned, flow is so massive. Acting like hoes who acting so passive. I'm so classic, flowing the gold dragon. Flow dope is blowing, that's with no rapping. Don't know what happened or what hit them.